Hello gamers and welcome to today's YouTube video on the big old American tank destroyer, the E3. The tank destroyer that I actually like compared to the Badger, and reasons why is I think mainly the alpha and armor utility of the E3 and the capabilities of it being able to get played aggressive, making me like this more than a Badger. This and the V4 probably my favorite tank destroyers, also because, you know, 750 alpha, 295 pen on the AP, which is as much as, for example, the AMX M4 on its premium, and then 375 pen is just disgusting. On top of that, having the 1100 HE alpha with 90 pen, which you can utilize against lowly armored tanks, make this for me a tank pretty easy and straightforward to play. We get a ghost on defense, we either go left or right. Somebody always crosses. No matter what you do, somebody's always crossing this gap. And today it's going to be the same thing. Somebody always crosses this gap. Now that I said it, nobody's going to cross, but always somebody is crossing this gap. I am willing to not bet something. See? Every single time. Nobody wants to go to the left and be holden and be safe. Everybody wants to go to the front and, I don't know, take a shot from the E3 apparently. So every single time I go here, I get a shot of 3 damage. Every single time. Without exceptions. And I love it. That is a possibility because it just means that I get a reliable shot of damage every single time. I might try and peek the Rhino here to my left, which may be there at this moment in time. The Rhino is indeed there. He just gets spotted out, he spots me, he's not going to be peeking this. He's a Rhino, he's not that dumb. Surely he's a Rhino player and he's not that dumb. Rhino's not looking towards the K line though. He might be peeking this or the TNH in a second, no? No peeks from either of them right now. I don't want to be overly aggressive in the E3 because getting caught out position is one of the great deaths of the E3. Because, you know, it's not that fast moving anywhere. So you always have to be careful about your positioning and where you are. And maybe the BZ feels like side scraping me or peeking me, which both would be fine. If the type starts crossing though, he's going to get a big one from me. I'm sorry I missed the type. I am sorry. I mean, somebody always crosses. And in this case, he crosses twice. I'm just trying to use the pillars now to my advantage to hide myself a little bit. And then I'm going to be killing the type. He goes down. They're trying to wiggle to ruin his pen ults against me. 5 seconds of reload. I have a nice 2k damage. My team is starting to take the A line. The TNH may be unaware. Bro, what is this? What is this crossing? I don't even know, man. That's the third guy that crosses over that gap now. And gets exactly the same as the ones before him. I mean, look, I am always going to be taking those. Ooh, I see a 183 turning around. And now I'm going to be showing you the power of HG real quick on the E3. So you see 80. Boom! Low pen roll. I'm telling you, it's a low pen roll. That's unlucky. That is actually unfortunate though. And now I'm kind of in no man's land. When we kill in the 183, I pick him up. That was actually unfortunate though. I mean, yeah, the Rhino can give me his shots all he wants, but man, I got robbed for 700, bro. Like, I actually got robbed for 700. I'm gonna just push the Rhino here because I simply can. And give him the shot. I know that the bat shot got spotted, but re-aiming at the bat shot is a mistake. Because, well, it simply is a mistake. Because you can just go behind the no gun gaming. Okay. Because you could always go and hide. We're gonna pick up the Rhino now. There we do. No gun gaming. Gives us 4.8. Would have been 5.7 if not for some good old robbery. And I am gonna call it robbery because it was robbery. It said 80, I had 90. That should pen, right? Unless I had a bad pen roll, of course. Which always is possible as well. The Tortoise is now starting to reverse around the corner, but I don't have this thing called a repair kit, and I don't have a gun either, so this is going to be extremely difficult to actually hit. The bad shot's now crossing. He doesn't get tracked. I don't know where the bad shot was going. There's the Tortoise that was shooting at me. If I hit this, it's a Christmas miracle. I mean, I still have 19 seconds on my repair kit, so I'm willing to try for this shot, and it would be epic if I could hit it, but I don't expect it. It was actually pretty close though. I'm gonna hit the rock instead. I'll say though, I feel like this would have been a good game if not for the rather unfortunate incident with the HE against the 1E3, and this is a 5k tank. With the right MM, the right battles, this can definitely be a 5k tank. And unfortunately enough, I go robbed. I mean, I could have just one-tapped the 1A3 there because I have 1,100 alpha. What did I do? Like 300. Yeah, that is unfortunate. And it is greedy, but it's something I would do every single time. When I see a tank like that, because 1A3s are pinnable. Maybe I didn't aim at the perfect spot. I'm not sure. I feel like it should be fine. But yeah, I really like the E3 in terms of TDs. Because for me, a tank is only good if I can play aggressive with it, if I can actually peek something. And because of the E3 armor, I feel like I am able to do this quite frequently. Same with the V4, can be played aggressively. But then you have TDs like Badger, etc. For me, I can't play aggressive with them, so I don't like them. They are, of course, great defensive TDs. So is the E3 actually. It's a great defensive TD as well, because I can just sit behind a hold down and literally ruin anybody's day that comes in front of it. But it also has the capability of pressuring forward, because even the lower plate of the E3 is kind of trollish if you've ever shot at it. It has these weird angles that, like, if it's not straight on, that it's not that easy to pen. So that is something to take care of when you're playing your E3. And again, please do use the APCR as much as you want to. The 375 pen is just really, really nice to play with. And I also like that part about it, I'm not gonna lie. On the Roslakat, I got 5k DPG on it, but I also only shot APCR because this is one of the flaws in ammo design IMO. AP against APCR, it's not really a choice anymore. If I hit this, it's gonna be crazy. I mean, he went out of render, like, the shell dipped low as well. It's very unlikely to ever hit that, to be very honest with you. But now I'm gonna start facing off against the VZ here and the S-Gong, and I should be fine doing this. I'm kind of in no man's land right now though. Trying to angle a little bit so he can't really hit my lower plates. That works out. Whew. A man is never peeking that again in his life. The Mino is absolutely dominating him together with the RD as well coming in. There's a hold on here that you can play as well. Going past this point, you have to be really careful about, because of the fact that they have all those TDs. That could nail you. 140. For the Konk, an S-Konk against 375 has no armor. Actually. It just gets completely owned. So yeah, definitely need to be careful there. If you're playing your S-Konk, that is. To be very careful about how you play it. And I'm just waiting to see maybe the 140 tries to make a mistake to go back. Like if he goes back, I can shoot him when he comes out. Or I can just hold the angle. Still, you gotta be really careful from the TDs, because there is definitely something there. There always is a TD there, let's be real. I've never seen a game where there is no TD waiting from that position. So I don't think it will be any different in this case, or this battle, for that matter. So I'm just chilling now. I'm not making too much of an aggressive play, because I don't want to get caught out position. There's also the crossfire from the gorilla, from the city, that you have to be careful about. I'm gonna drive into it now. I got a nice shot against the VZ. I'm trying to wiggle to bounce. It's probably not gonna happen though. The gorilla might tap me for this, and this is what I'm talking about. You have to be careful with driving into crossfire, because now I'm like completely through all of my HP. Right. I'm gonna reload into HP now to see if I could maybe kill the gorilla. The gorilla gets spotted out. And luckily enough, I intuition to HE there, because the intuition to HE actually saved my life. It allowed me to kill the gorilla. And yeah, that's why you have to be really careful about what moment you press forward in the E3 is still. Because any mistake can indeed and will be your last if you give the enemies an opportunity to catch you out in the open. If they have time to shoot your lower plate, they simply will do it. I'm just trying to pressure forward here to find the 140. If I could. Or the VZ, but seems like both of them are safe right now, which is kind of unfortunate. Because I'm kind of in no man's land. Like, I've kind of put myself in no man's land. That's a very fortunate timing, though. This is a very fortunate timing for me to spot a Leo there. So I get a good shot on him. But I feel like I made a mistake here by going forward, but we'll see about it ourselves as well. Quick snap into the 140, paying off as well, though. 4.8 now, and if these guys would actually kill the Mino and push up to me, I would be completely fine from anything that may happen. Sadly, things are not that easy in World of Tanks. I was just hoping your teammates push up, but it does seem like they're doing it after all. You gotta be careful though, because there's a fortune in SRV unspotted, and I would peek here towards the VZ, however, that is just a mistake. Now that the Forge gets spotted out and the SRV gets spotted out though, this gives me a lot of extra info to work out. Instead of peeking the corner straight, I'm gonna go towards the right and peek it from there. Because like IMO is just better to do so. It's also gonna give me a straight angle on the VZ here. We can blame that on ourselves, but we can also blame that on slippery rocks still being a thing though, which is unfortunate again, but mainly ourselves actually. I tried to get the shot because I knew other people were gonna shoot him anyways. I get the SRV, which gives me a nice 5k. But yeah, slippery rocks and not peeking wide enough is the result of, or the reason to why we missed that shot. And we tried to just still shoot at it, guys. That's unfortunate. We might die against the Forge now, for unlucky, no. It's pretty simple, like, other people are coming, they're gonna kill him, so I kinda have to try and make the shot. The EDR is now crossing over, which is fine. I'll aim towards that there. He keeps going, I should be able to maybe tap him. He's having some slight driving issues though. Is he on his roof or... Oh man, that's kind of funny. That's kind of funny, dude. He kept driving, I would have gotten a shot, but I'll still take the 5k though. It could have been slightly better. I mean, missing the Leo because somebody else killed him right before. Missing the VZ, you could see the downsides of not having a turret. But overall, this tank, if played correctly, is an absolute menace for the enemy team, especially because you have that high pen, you have that high alpha. Trading against you, you can predict some bounces depending on where you are. If you get caught up in the open, like I was there for a second, then of course not. But see, we get top damage here. We don't lose even that many credits because, well, we have a premium account. And overall, the CD, I think it takes time to get used to, but once you do, and once you also just, I feel like we just had this. I feel like we literally just had this, but it's gonna be okay. Like, it's fine. We're gonna be playing towards B6 here because it's assault defense and we're on defense. I've talked about this before. The only issue on this kind of map that you can run into in this mode is if the enemy team that is plays A2 with a TD. Because if they have A2, they can crossfire the position on C6. And C6 is the best position on defense to actually play, because from there you just annihilate the entire enemy team. When driving there with a slower tank, you have to be pretty careful about your approach, because you cannot drive just like this because you get caught out by them. You have to either go the long way or go through the middle there. You see the right now. You go through there, then you approach like this. The first goal is always to clear A6. Once A6 dies, that means you can go hold on onto the guy sitting at C5. But for that to happen, A6 needs to die. They're gonna have a 430U there though, which is gonna be a bit annoying. They have their Shitbine playing close, which is fine. Yeah, the Predretto peeking. I think he spotted me, no? Yeah, he did spot me. I don't know what these peaks are. I really don't understand what those peaks were, to be honest with you. I mean, the Predator gets 1 on me and takes 1.1 in return. I guess that's what we call value. Right? Leo gets a shot. This Predator is owning this for 30 as well, which is good. And like I said, this is not an issue. A2 is an issue. This is not an issue on this HP anymore. Once this and this dies, we are just free to go through like this. I think our Predator will probably kill this 430U at some point. The Leo dies, very good. Also, the 60 TP when he goes back can be shot from up here. Please, Predator, commit and kill his ass. Please, Predator, come on, come on, come on, Hussar. Somebody go kill him, please. I mean, oh, they do have A2. They do have A2. They do have A2. It's not even A2, it's like A1. I need the EBR to sneak through and spot the E50M. That would be ideal, actually. This is actually still going to be a hard game because of that E50M. I'm going to make the peak anyways because I can. Get a nice shot on the 60 TP. I'm really hoping that somebody goes to spot the E50M. Because like I said, he shuts down what I want to do pretty hard. There is the E50M actually. He's in a pretty rough position for me to hit though. I missed it, as you can see by the splash. I'm just waiting and trying to see the Predretto. I think that 60p fuel tanks who I hit earlier got set on fire now. This is probably not going to be the greatest game I've ever had in the E3. Mainly because I'm kind of getting shot down by the D50M. I am getting some shots against him, but the thing is, and I said this before, the E3 is a tank that needs time. It needs time, and it's 8-1. At this point, I don't have time to work with. I'm even pretty lucky that I hit both of those E50M shots to kind of salvage this in a way. But like, E3 needs time. When a game is this fast, I don't have time to actually do something. The enemy team made some like really disastrous trades. I'm gonna be very honest, like they really played it absolutely the worst way possible. And that's just something you have to accept when playing this tank. It is gonna happen. Let's try and hit this though. We'll take it. We'll take it. This is something that's gonna happen when you play the E3. And it's something you can't really do anything about. The speed of the game is not something you can really determine in a slow tank like this. And when it happens, you just have to accept it. That's why I also said this tank is a 5k tank in the right MM, in the right situation. This was not the right situation because I didn't get to do anything more. And I cannot do much more about this. I just gotta accept it. And it's annoying to like feel useless, which I kind of felt useless, and having to rely on like pixel shots like against the E50M and the 277, which I arguably did get the pixel shots. But there's also going to be games where you just don't get those and you miss all 3 of those in a row. So there is that to remember. But all in all, I will take it. It could have been a 5k sesh. It won't be because of the fact that oh, you guys always like seeing the damage repeat. Because I'm a bit unlucky in the first 2 games. That would have saved my 5k actually. It's 4.5. Could it have been 5? Yeah, with a slightly more luck, it could have been 5. But as always, I hope it still helps you in your journey. I always play HP Turbo Rammer on the E3, always. There's no second setup for me, because it really benefits from both of those. I guess in a really small map, you could try IRM or Vents if you want to. But that's up to you. For field modes then, always left. Always left, I think it makes sense. Aiming circle size is always pretty normal as well. We take the extra view range because we don't need camo the way we play. On this, you could take the lower HP if you want to. I prefer taking neither. I also don't want to increase my reload further. And then here I have the extra reverse speed, because reverse speed on the A3 is pretty important. As always, gamers, I hope this video helps you on your way in World of Tanks, that you learned something from it. Let me know what you thought below in the comments section. What would you like to see next? Please do tell me. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys all on the very next one. Peace, ways. Ciao, ciao.